Aloha, friends and neighbors. Roland Frost here. I'm getting over my laryngitis. My voice is dropping a bit. Round up laryngitis. Look out! So look, we're going to do show 1101 and cover that first or second week in January 2018. An electric week. Uranus is acting up. You know, Uranus is a big deal. In fact, if you're sitting there on the Thursday show, well, Uranus just stopped about 3 days ago for you. So it's electric everywhere. I put my foot in my mouth and predicted a big earthquake. Well, that's my job. So, anyway, let's find out more about what's happening day to day. Let's do the sky mirror. There's Uranus. He's really acting up. Uranus is Aquarius, and the way he operates is suddenly turn the lights off, turn the lights, turn on. The motor stops. Things, electricity. It's electric, magnetic, and it happens zap, zap, zap. Tends to interrupt things. So Uranus is very, very active now, and in all of our lives on the Earth. And when that happens, we get a lot of power outages, we get a lot of shakings. The disease of epilepsy is supposed to be the divine disease. I knew a lot of epileptics. They're really cool people. But upshot, a handy van experience. A lot of Uranus people. Everybody who rode a handy van in Honolulu was a Uranus person. They were unusual. They were different. When you see somebody who's doing Uranus really strong, lots of times you'll see this pattern, this geometric pattern like an Arab rug. Uranus is very mathematical. The classic is a plaid shirt. The plaid shirt, with the horizontal and vertical plaids, is a mark of Uranus. So, independent, free-thinking type. Uranus is a bit of a rebel. Uranus is common sense. Yep, he's not into religion and belief and the cultural stuff. He doesn't follow the rest of the pack. He goes off on his own to learn on his own and trust his own common sense. Uranus is kind of a hero. Quetzalcoatl, I've learned, marks my endeavors in this world so far. Very Uranus. An environmentalist, a safety and health training guy. All the stuff I've done has been Aquarian Uranus stuff. It has a certain flavor, and after you learn it, you can spot it easy. Now, he's really active now. He's flooding your consciousness, Uranus. Feel rebellious? Feel individualistic? You got a rash of common sense going on? Well, Uranus just stopped. I usually figure when Uranus stops, about 20 days before it stops, you start feeling it. And it gets stronger and stronger like a bell-shaped curve, and then peaks out like 3 days ago for you, comes down about 20 days. And you see these influences in stuff like the stock market. And now Uranus likes to get people together. Hurricane comes, bang, blows all your shit down. The next thing you know your neighbors. Yes, earthquakes, know your neighbors. It's funny, this glyph is two people not looking at each other, but they're tied together by the cross of matter. This is a union down at the shop. Here's all these different colored people and different religions, and they don't hang out together except they're at the shop. But man, issues about money and safety, they formed a union and they are strong. So Uranus likes to form unions, and he'll put together the gay people and the lady people and the kids and nobody's paying any attention to the kids. The black people, the brown people, there's all these different groups of people, and they have to be tied together in a union. That's what Uranus does. Now you know. And he can also, a union, go on strike. And all my experience in government and Dow Chemical and PRI refineries and gas companies, the guys at the top We're scared to death of the unions. Yes, they do anything to keep the unions out. Republicans in the government last 3 decades have pretty much trashed it much as they could. Of course, these are also stuff like communist, socialist. Anytime you get diverse people together to share stuff over the heart, the money and food and shelter and the cross of matter is what this is. Who cares about their religions? All these things are over the circle of spirit. So Uranus is quite a neat character. Could you see him from Earth? Well, if you took some mushrooms with the Mayans and went to a high mountain, and he was tilted the right way, maybe, he rolls along on his side, and he has rings, so the rings kind of could be like a mirror to the Earth. Uranus is very erratic in his behavior. He never, yes. So, if you try to predict what he's going to do, the earthquake happens here. He'll always be a little early, a little late. He likes to surprise. He's won't follow any rules. So here he is. He's in late Aries, and the sun for you in this next week is going from 15 degrees of Capricorn to 25. So at the end of your next week, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, the sun will be squaring Uranus, and there'll be a lot more problems with electrics and electronics. And usually you twist the plug, whether it's a car electric or a house electric, but when electric stuff and voltage doesn't flow, it's usually always in the connectors. It's right in here where Uranus has trouble. Anyway, look at that. It just looks like a dish. Get your TV free from a dish instead of paying a cable company. Eek. Telephone companies. Eek. These are newspapers. Eek. Uranus does have another side. We won't get into that. We're going to follow out what happens to you. I've got the pattern of planets here. I've drawn you up a chart. Remember, it's not your chart. It's the generic chart. And over here, here's Mars. Mars is on Jupiter. Everybody's very macho. The heroes are out. There's all kind of sports events going on. It's a big deal. Wednesday night, Tuesday. What else is happening? Well, you had that dastardly new moon right on Saturn. I mean, that's a week ago for us here, and it's been cold, been gray. It's been gray and drizzling rain and cold ever since. A new moon on Saturn. Eek. So you're in that period now until you get to the middle of January. There's a new moon at 26 Capricorn. You're also in a pretty good full moon because the full moon trine Neptune. So, Monsanto is skating for a month. The priest, artist, doctor, musicians. Well, anyway, and here's Venus. Look at there. Venus is in sextile to Neptune. There's a dreamy side of love and the young girls and like that. But Venus is still in the morning stage. I mean, when they rise up, see, she comes up early before the sun, so she's wasp star, Lucifer to a Babylonian. She's still dangerous, these girls. Let's touch my butt, you'll lose your career. It's a great part of American culture. Hell on, ladies, go for it. Now, what's it like for you day by day? Well, if you're watching the Thursday show, you're down here. Probably the moon's in Leo for you. Goes into Virgo, about 9-10 o'clock Thursday night. And Uranus is king right now. On Friday, the moon's in Virgo, and there's a nice trine to Saturn in the morning, so you get real organized. Thursday night you're pretty organized. The moon here trined that last new moon and trined Uranus. So Thursday night was a lot of enlightenment. That's where you are now, watching the show, huh? More on that later. What you can do is you can watch the show on the internet. You can watch the show on YouTube, just Astrology with Roland Frost, or on my website, skymarastrology.com/TV, and you can turn it on at the same time that it plays in your city. and then you're watching it with everybody else, and you get the same telepathic effect. We got to wean us off this public access stations. They're all folding up, choked in their own bureaucracy, and it's not working so well. So, you want to be more free. You're on a station, so you want to be free. And I realized you don't want to be tied one day a week to your TV set at home to watch this show. This show plays on all of your gadgets, all of your phones and iPads and everything. If you can get the internet on any of your little gadgets in your lap, the computer you carry around, you get the internet, you can get the TV show. Yeah. You can get the TV show, and you can play it any time you want, and you can go back and look at it again. Can't do that with a stupid public access. So there. Or regular television. No. Wisdom of Thursday night, January 4th. Moon trining Uranus and the new moon point. Okay, Friday, where are we at? Here's Venus. Well, first of all, here's the opposition to Neptune. People are drinking too much. It's around dinner time. Don't do that, because here's Venus. And there's some sweet love and sisters here that want to play. And gosh, you get all drunked out. You might miss the goodies. Friday night is Freya, Venus. Venus is Friday. And here's a nice trine to the sun. Late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And men feel powerful, and we did good, and we danced with the pretty girl Friday night. Didn't touch her butt. So here's Mars. He's right with you. Mars, the little brother, he's got full of testosterone, and he's kind of happy too. This is very social. Mars and Venus and the sun. Wow. Romeo and Juliet, the boss, having a big office party. Everybody's really happy, brothers and sisters. Here's Pluto around breakfast time. I got Pluto and Jupiter lined up. Look at that, Jupiter's at 19, Pluto's at 19. This makes for explosions and lightning bolts of truths suddenly. So that's what Friday night and Saturday is all about. Doesn't stop till you get to past dinner time Saturday the 6th, when you hit that square to the new moon. So this is a beautiful time. It's a very beautiful time. You don't want to be out dancing in the streets here, because there's so many wisdoms flowing with Jupiter and Pluto. Of course, here's Mars and Venus and the sun. It's hard not to go dance and be social and feel sexy. Well, Sunday morning, the moon's in Libra, and you're in the shaky zone, because Uranus is in Aries, the opposite sign. So I fixed you up with little shakies here. Now, this is just a couple of days, the most likely days when you're going to say, I don't like Uranus, it's an earthquake, it's a power outage, it's, and this is a likely time when people do that. And they feel kind of scared and closed in with the moon squaring Saturn early Sunday morning. It could be cold and drizzly still. Sunday night, here's the full moon square, the thing that happened to. Yeah, so there's a little light lunacy Sunday. And then Monday morning, here's a square to Venus. Can't get no rest. Nobody's happy. There's no sugar Monday morning. And then here Monday afternoon is the sun and Pluto in square. And there's panickiness. And you're in the Uranus zone. The power went out. And their sirens went on for a while. And what is this stuff Monday night? This is a scary peak in energy that will startle you. So Sunday, Monday, is there shakings going on? Just go around and take all the stuff off the top shelves. Earthquakes are, you're supposed to meet your neighbors. If the power goes out, well, you go out and barbecue and invite the neighbors. Go out in the street and do it. That's Uranus. Your neighbors and you will form a union. Nobody likes the unions right here. You mean they went on strike and I can't get on the airplane? Oh, Monday night. This also involves mass transit, like trains and airplanes and buses and stuff, electric cars. Tuesday morning, you're still feeling all the zappiness until just after breakfast, and finally here's a sextile to Mercury. Well, we can communicate and get moving, and then around noontime, here's a sextile to Saturn. We feel organized. We recovered on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the moon's still in Scorpio. In the middle of the day, it makes a nice trine to Neptune. There's some music and regain some faith. All right. Wednesday night, the moon's going to go by Pluto, or sextile Pluto first. And this means discovery. You know, it's very nice having discovery around. Here's the sun Thursday morning. And the whole thing is going by, here's Jupiter and Mars. So we got the moon going by, hitting Jupiter, sextile Pluto. Aha! Now I see it clear. The detectives. I'm a great detective. I looked underneath the surface and there it was. And then Mars, you know, lots of energy. The heroes, the brothers. The boss has to know about this and the brothers, and we got to do something. You know, that's, yeah. And you make a plan. And there's wisdom here. Jupiter's here. Now I understand it clearly. I see it clear. Zap. So Wednesday night, Thursday morning is zap time. Really nice. I hope you get it clear. Continues the feeling through Thursday, and then Friday night after dinner, the moon shifts into Sagittarius, and then vibes all change. They get increasingly confusing as you go through Friday. Till Friday night late, here's about 9-10 o'clock, the moon squares Neptune. Music's too loud, drank too much, bad alcohol blues, confusion and delusion. Stay home Friday night unless you just want to watch drunken clowns in the circus. Saturday morning, moon's still in Sagittarius. Starts to get a little better as you go to Saturday night, where that new moon was. It's on Saturn, though. It's sobering, huh? And judgmentals. I mean, all those guys in the suits in Congress redid the taxes and gave them more money, and the rich and their buddies more money, and cheated the poor. Yeah, what'd you expect from Saturn? It all happened right on that Saturn thing. These guys smile and take your money for the next 10 years to give to their rich families. That's what happened. Like a bunch of penguins that just went along, yup, 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 a whole Congress full of yuppies. So you're gonna, I'm not happy with Saturn. They're not doing their job. Corrupt institutions. You'll see some of that Saturday night, January 13th. Sunday morning, the 14th, well, there's more of that feeling of Saturn. The moon's going by Saturn. It's in Capricorn now. So, more serious. And these politicians need to change their color and get more serious because they're not doing their jobs. No.